Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So as I'm typing out my intro, as I always do, we get a full 5-minute teleblock, which really sets the tone for this video. The amount of PKers that I avoided and that I died to, the amount of Revs that I killed, is why this 10-hour video is so long. I really did enjoy this experience though, and I really hope you guys do too. Before we get started into today's journey, we do have some quick words from our incredible sponsor, Mech Arena. Mech Arena is a killer new 5v5 mech shooter with tons of unique mechs, weapons, and skins, and a variety of different maps and game modes. It's got fast-paced competitive gameplay, and you can play solo or team up with your friends to take on the world. And ladies and gentlemen, the mechs are here. Mech Arena just kicked off a massive event running now until December 15th to raise $100,000 for charity by destroying 1 billion mechs in-game. As the whole community hits milestones, Mech Arena donates more funds to charity and will hand out prizes to the players. From in-game loot to a whole box of limited edition Mech Arena merch shipped right to your door. And that's not all. 10 lucky players will take part in the grand finale, the Mech Arena Championship, on December 16th for a chance to pilot a real-life mech. So does that sound good? Do you like charity and getting involved? Piloting a giant mech? Here's how to get started. First, install the game via my link. It's completely free on Android and iOS, and if you use my link, you'll get 50,000 credits, 3 golden crates, and an exclusive Mechs Are Here event skin just for taking part. Don't forget to scan that QR code as well. And to win the big prizes like the merch box or mech piloting experience, you'll need to register for the event, and that is super easy to do. Once you're in game, just hit the Mechs Are Here button in your hangar and sign up. That's it, guys. Start playing and go make some mayhem for a great cause. I will see you in game, and a huge thanks to Mech Arena for sponsoring today's video. Alright, getting back to the video, as I was saying, Jagex has recently added some more Revenants into the Rev Cave, and they do drop much better loot now, so I wanted to do a 10-hour video killing the Knight, the Dragon, the Demon, the Cyclops, the Hounds, and the Orcs. Splitting each monster up into a 2-hour segment, I figured I could explore the profit per hour on each of the Revenants, see how popular the hotspots were for PKers, see which was the most popular place to get killed in, or at least get attacked in, and see how much you can make per Rev per hour. And you're really seeing here, you know, the first minute of walking into this cave I was attacked, and of course just walking back into it I had to log out twice in a span of like 30 seconds. So this is a very popular place for PKers, and I would imagine the reason for that is just because of this new Rev update, which is okay with me. I've done a lot of Revenant videos. I'll show them on screen here, as you can see. You know, big fan of the Revs. So of course we had to do this all Scold. I think most of us know that if you are Scold here, you have a very good chance of getting a rare statue or a crossbow, a much better chance than if you were unscold. And if you're going to wear that Amulet of Avarice, which is what I did the whole time, it will keep you Scold the whole time, and it'll also note every single drop for you, so that is nice. So my gear choice for this video was a simple range setup, the crossbow as well as the archer's helm, and I decided to kill the Cyclops as well as the Demon first. I had some privacy and I was getting all the new blighted drops, and in 15 minutes time I made about 710k. Yeah, I was very surprised. I mean, I've killed Revs many years now, and I'm just really cool to see the drops so valuable, especially the updated drops, seeing the new blighted drops as well as the unnoted food that you can pick up. So in situations like this, you will have plenty of food to use, and you should be able to get away. I mean, luckily for me, I did have the agility shortcut, and it's just a matter of getting a gap and logging out in time, so it is what it is. That guy was using Mystic and an Orbital Godsword. That kind of PKer tends to not scare me too much. It's usually the ones in Arums or Ancestral that are a little bit more intimidating, or of course the ones that have, you know, 3 or 4 guys with you. That's always bad too, and you guys will see many different instances of that. But for now, I was just peacefully killing the Demon and Cyclops. On average, I was getting about 1 mil looting bags, anywhere from 700k to 1.5 mil looting bags, I would say. I was trying not to bank because I just wanted to maximize my profits. That can certainly backfire on you though. For example, a situation like this, if this guy was a little luckier and you know, he was quicker at killing me, then I would have lost all of that money in the looting bag, and that would have really been a disappointing first hour, because we are about to come up on the very first hour here. And overall, seeing about 4 to 5 PKers in this hour, avoiding every single one of them. This was, I guess, a close call. I really should have brought my anti-venom. That is one of the most important things that you cannot forget to bring here, because even if you're really good at tanking the person that's attacking you, that anti-venom will stack over time, and it is very deadly. But with all that being said, 4 interruptions, we killed 83 demons, we killed 88 Cyclops, and in subtotal without getting a rare or anything like that, we made about 2.2 million GP. That's not bad at all. What you're seeing here is kind of an excuse to bank. I mean, it's really just that. It's just kind of a lower level PKer, and as you can see, I decided to make the call to not anti-PK in this video, and the reason for that is because this was purely for profit, and although maybe I could make money fighting back and killing the person, I was really just focused on the revenants. But you can be rest assured, if you guys enjoy this video, then I will certainly make a follow-up revenant video, and maybe I'll be the PKer the next time around. But other than that, just, you know, a nuisance PKer with that Saradomin Coif, and we did get away. We actually almost killed her, so maybe would have gotten something from that. As you can see, the PVMer who was following us quickly decided to attack me as well, so you just can't trust anyone around these caves. Always be on the lookout, mainly be on the lookout for getting teleblock. That's the most dangerous thing that can happen here. Either way, though, 2 noted dragon plate skirts. Shortly after that, I got 3 U seeds, so my luck for the second hour at the Cyclops and the Demon was very, very good compared to the first hour. That looting bag alone, I think, was 1.2 million. So yeah, I was excited. I mean, I wasn't even 90 minutes in, and I knew that from this video I was going to make a ton of money, and yeah, I'm just really excited to do this. So in 2 hours total, 4.6 mil was made, so that's about 2.3 mil an hour. And remember, this is just kind of from the medium level revs. We're going to be now moving on to the Knight, which is the highest level Revenant. I think it's the highest level. I hope it's the highest level, but either way, I've done a video on this on the past, but they buffed the drops now, so it's actually kind of worth killing, and it is the closest spot to the entrance. So get ready to see me get attacked a lot, because this is a hot spot for PKers, and not just normal PKers, but pretty good PKers. As you can see, the lovely Torvesta was my first, you know, opponent, I guess you could say, but I wasn't really fighting back. I was just kind of trying to survive. And I'm sure most of you have already seen his video, but I did get very lucky on multiple occasions here. I should have died. I think I counted 4 or 5 times that I was just lucky that he just could have hit maybe 10 higher and I would have died. But I mean, I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at escaping, and escaping does require a little bit of luck, so a little skill, but mostly a lot of luck. And this guy, you know, his DPS was incredible. The dragon ended up PJing him. I was trying to trap him with the Zamorak Godsword spec, but he was too smart for that. It is Torvesta after all, but luckily with timing in place and a little bit of luck, I did log out. Yeah, I should really get with the times whenever I do go PKing again, because that was a very overpowered setup, and yeah, I've never purchased that range gear before or that bow. But yeah, what you guys didn't see in Torvesta's video was, as you can see here, I logged out and I logged back into a different world, and there was a max mage almost able to teleblock me and kill me. I mean, 1 step away. So I was stunned to see that. I don't know how that was even possible. I guess just bad world choice and bad timing. But yeah, that could have been a huge loss. That could have been a Zamorak Godsword down the drain. So as we see here, I wanted to bring my new and improved, cheaper escape weapon, the Dragon Spear. I really do love this weapon. It actually always brought a smile to my face as I would spec these people, because I don't think they would ever expect it. You know, most people, if you're trying to escape here, and by the way, this is a brilliant way to get away. If you're at the entrance, always a good way to run around that cave entrance. That way they have to run after you, and you can just run in a circle and you can always get away. So that's probably my #1 best escape route. But as I was saying, some people do bring tank gear here if they are PVMing. You know, maybe they'll bring a bulwark shield or some tank legs in case they run into a PKer. I don't know why I decided not to do that. The Zamorak Godsword was really cool at first, but obviously almost losing it, I did want to switch to the Dragon Spear, and you know, it worked pretty well for me. So it's all up to what you ever want to bring and what your preference is. This person who was attacking me did do quite a bit of damage on me in a short amount of time, but luckily, you know, once they release the special attacks, the odds of them killing you is pretty low, so I did get away. The Dragon Spear always doing me well, as you guys can see. And yeah, as I've learned, not even an hour into the Revenant Knight, there was a ton of PKers here, probably because it's just a high-level, profitable rev to kill, and it's so close to the entrance. That way you can teleport almost directly here with that scroll, and it probably takes no time at all to just hop a bunch of worlds and find the person closest to the Revenant Knight. So I was okay with it, though. I knew that this was going to be much more profitable than the Demon and the Cyclops. Even though there were more PKers, I was still maintaining an average looting bag of over 1 million GP, so, you know, About 1 hour after this, 7 minutes of PKing delayed it to about 54 minutes total, and in that time we made approximately 2.8 mil from killing 91 Revenant Knights. That is incredible. So 3 hours into the video so far, so much money has been made, and we have 1 hour left of killing the Revenant Knight. Again, we are breaking down these Revenants into 2-hour segments, and you know, it's nice to see all the variety from all that. So what you're seeing here is a very unfortunate situation, and that's when you're just outnumbered, because when it's just one person attacking you, it's easy because you have so many allies, the dragon, the cave entrance, the dragon spear special attack. But since this guy had more than just him, it was very hard to avoid both of them. So I did my best to escape. Getting a half telly block when I only had 2 Saradomin brews left, though, was not the best situation to be in. Needless to say, at least I banked my Zamorak Godsword, so that is good. I did die though, so that sucks. But anyway, hashtag NLC, good fight to me. I mean, it wasn't a great fight, but it was a first death of the video. Overall loss of, I would say, 1.5 mil. I'm really not too sure though, but something along the lines of that. It's alright though, you know, making my way back to the Revenant Knight. You are gonna die at Revs. It is inevitable. I mean, maybe you're very great at escaping and you very rarely die, but sometimes you just get stuck, you know, sometimes the odds are up against you. So it is what it is. That was the first death, hopefully the only death of the video. This next guy was not expecting this. I rarely do this escape tactic, but it is funny when it works every time. It got me smiling right now. As you can see, we just act like we're running away, and then they exit the cave and you don't, so you simply log out after that. There's so many different ways to escape people here, but you know, I was just doing whatever I found was the best way to go about it. As you can see in this clip, this guy's using a combat bracelet, so I wasn't too worried. It really just depends on their gear and, you know, what you have to expect. One thing I wasn't expecting was, as I was trying to go kill my Revenant Knight, some guy with a crystal shield and blue mystic was attacking me with, of all things, water wave. Yeah, he's about 19 years too late on that one. So again, you know, if you just gotta pray magic and escape them with an agility shortcut, whatever it takes, usually they'll off you if they just, you know, not hitting anything. And don't forget, for you group Ironmen out there, 100k GP will be taken from your bank every time you re-enter the Revenant cave after you die. So, you know, you will lose more than just what you bring to the cave if you die here. Always keep that in mind. 100k can come and go for me, but for Ironman accounts, that's a lot of money. So, and speaking of a lot of money, 2 hours of the night was completed and 5.5 million was made. So not bad, almost 3 mil an hour, but not quite there. So now we move on to the Revenant Dragon. This is my favorite Revenant of them all, and unfortunately the most dangerous Revenant of them all. As we can see here, we were getting attacked pretty much right away as I entered the dragon's lair. I want to say this is Torvesta again, I'm pretty sure, and we did get telly blocked. I think that was by his alternate account or one or the other, but yeah, he actually smited me in the very first fight for my crossbow, and I tanked the hit and I kept it. Turns out he did the same exact thing in this fight too, so talk about a lot of luck. You know, getting chanced over a dozen times in this fight. I just don't know why this game didn't want me to die, but eventually I did die, and I did lose a decent amount of money there, about 2 mil loss on that, but that's okay. You know, Torvesta finally killed me. It's the first time he's ever killed me in the wild, hopefully the last. But with that being said, we still had 2 hours to go on the dragon, and one thing I really wanted to try out here was super anti-fire, or extended super anti-fire I should say, and it was working pretty well. I'm not sure if it's actually usable here because it is a Revenant Dragon, but I was using it and I felt like I was taking no damage. So you can definitely correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but yeah, I was always bringing an anti-fire. In worst case, even if I'm wrong in the fire breath deflection, you can still bring it in case the PKer attacking you is using Dragonstone bolts enchanted. I usually don't see a rune crossbow or dragon crossbow much in the Rev caves though, so that's kind of up to you. But yeah, one thing I don't see either is people trying to dragon claw rush here, but you know, dragon spear's better than the dragon claws sometimes. And hey, some people can still be nice even after they try to kill you, so that's always a good thing. But I was getting a lot of drops at these Revenant Dragons, a lot of PKers, and overall, after 1 hour of completing this, hopping quite a few worlds as well, we had roughly 52 minutes of PVMing, 8 minutes of avoiding PKers and hopping, and the total profit, ladies and gentlemen, from 1 hour of Revenant Dragons without even getting a rare, 3.8 million GP. Yeah, that's why I even typed out, I doubt I will top that, because that is incredible. But yet again, we did return for the second hour, and we already received 3 magic seeds as a drop. So, you know, whether it's a Dragon Plate Skirt, Dragon Plate Leg, U Seed, or Magic Seed, it's really nice to see, because the price is always going to be a stable couple 100k, and that will really add to the price check, especially at the very end. And something I forgot to mention is that I was using blighted Karambwans and blighted super restores the whole entire time through the making of this video, receiving them as a drop and of course just reusing them as supplies. They do benefit you much more in the wilderness compared to the normal super restores and the normal Karambwans. Well, I'm sure some of you recognize this talented PKer here. He's got a max cape nowadays too. It's none other than Amenity. This guy's killed me in the wild so much through the last 6 years, it's actually crazy, and yet he found me again. This was probably a 2200 total level world, and I did actually think I was going to get away until he used a max cape and teleblocked me. That's the first time someone's actually spellbook swapped on me in this whole video, and I just wasn't expecting it. So yeah, him and his, well, I guess his friend logged in too, but either way, the odds were stacked up against me, and even though I was using my dragon spear to the very best of my ability, yeah, I died. I think he killed me with a rapier, but at least he said good fight, you know, nice guy, and truly I think one of the best PKers in the game, so shout out to him and Torvesta. I didn't think I'd die by 2 different YouTubers during this video, and ironically, the very next world I went to, there he was again, and yeah, he almost killed me again, but hey, can't get me every time. That dragon spear and that running energy really coming in clutch, and we did get away. So 2 times in 10 minutes, I don't like it, but you know, I support it. I mean, if we look at reality, I'm schooled with a crossbow and an Avarice amulet, and most of the time people here always have a lot of loot in the looting bag, so it's probably a really good money-making method to try to kill people here, but either way, I haven't tried it yet. Making my way back to the Rev caves, I did get attacked by someone, and luckily this guy was not partnering with the fellow PKer because, you know, he wasn't letting him teleblock, but you know what, that's completely fine either way because I didn't even have a teleport, you know, so lesson number 1 of Revenants, always bring a teleport or you are doomed. I really can't believe I survived there, but either way, 200 Revenant Dragons killed in 2 hours, 2.8 mil was made in the second hour, so not quite the 3.8 mil that we saw before, but I will say that compared to the Revenant Knight, which is a very big hotspot for PKers, the Dragon's worse. Definitely worse. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, 6 hours into the video, 4 hours left. I'm impressed if you've been watching this long, really do appreciate it. We're now going to be killing the Orcs for 2 hours. And as you can see, we're already off to a great start here, getting attacked right away, and this guy actually almost killed me. I think I was tired at this time, or it was late, and he did chance me there with an Armadyl Godsword. I don't know if I was smited at that point, but you know, it wouldn't be the first time. Luckily for me, though, the Dragon Spear always coming in clutch, and it's all about running in that circle that I mentioned earlier, and you can manage to log out most of the time. So I did escape that, luckily. It was a close call there, and my first looting bag at the Revenant Orcs was growing pretty quickly. I was impressed with the drops. I seem to have been killing them much faster because they are kind of a lower level rev compared to the Knight and the Dragon, yet their drop table is almost identical. So it's really nice to see that. I was excited about, you know, how much money this is going to make me per hour. I was also kind of curious of the amount of PKers because it is the Orcs after all, very wide open area, really good for someone to throw a teleblock on you, but again, it is below 30 wilderness, so if you are able to, you know, teleport quicker than you see the opponent coming, that's a pretty good way out, so that is something to keep in mind. Finally, seeing my first rare of the video, Ancient Totem, and of all things, it was from the Revenant Orc, so that's awesome to see. I was scolded the whole time. I was looking forward to seeing a rare, and I'm really glad to see one, but too bad it's not a crossbow or anything. So 1 hour later into the Orc, ladies and gentlemen, minus the 1 million statue we got, we pretty much made 3 mil an hour here, so that's really good. And if you include that statue, then you can bring that number up to 4 million an hour. Just ridiculous. Definitely the best GP per hour that I've ever made in this game. Would now be at Revenants. I think this beats anything that I've ever done. Next, we had a very talented PKer risking probably half of my bank just in his inventory and on him right now, and he was really good. I mean, this was a very hard escape for me, and once again, I made the amateur mistake of forgetting my anti-venom, but if you do get a good gap and they are trying to entangle you and luckily, you know, splash a few times, then you should be able to get away. But overall, the first hour at the Orcs was pretty relaxing, just probably 2 PKers, but on the second hour, I vividly remember so many more PKers attacking me, and it was just hard to get a couple kills, let alone a 1 mil looting bag inventory. And speaking of inventory, usually I was bringing about 7 7 super restores, 6 Ceradome and Brews, a teleport, a dragon spear just in case of the sticky situations, and the rest of my inventory would be blighted Karambwans and anglerfish. And this guy literally took all of my food and all of my potions. I had not much going for me here, and I didn't want to get smited, but I didn't want to die at the same time. So once again, I forgot to sip my anti-venom. I'm looking at the screen now, I'm getting chanced. I mean, I don't even know how I survived here, but needless to say, my teleblock was almost expired. I was panicking pretty hard, and my heart was racing, and the anti-venom hitting a 20, you can see that I was not clearly thinking because I should have sipped it a long time ago, but I did get away, and this guy was even impressed that we met back at the bank, and the anti-venom actually ended up killing me in my house. But yeah, big shout out to that guy because he was incredible at all of his switches, and I really did get lucky there, so that was awesome. And as it goes for the amount of PKers at the Orc, obviously the second hour you can just tell it was extreme, and you know, I really was trying my best to world hop. I mean, it seemed to me that any world was just not good, because whether it was a total level world or whether it was just a random world, there's always going to be people here. And the worst part about it is there could be a level 70 here that's maybe killing one of the revenants and you don't think anything of it, but that person could be a scout, could have a friend of his added, and you know, he'll message him whenever a higher level such as myself arrives in the cave. So you always have to be on the lookout. You really can't trust anyone, and it actually got so bad at this point where I couldn't even kill a couple orcs. I mean, really, I was just adding on to the notepad every single time I was getting attacked, and it was bad. It was very populated. I was just trying to finish off the last hour so I could finish off the orcs because I was so over it. I mean, I've killed so many revs at this point, and I've been attacked so many times by so many different types of people. It's something about the orc. I just, that was the roughest one of them all. So, yeah, I was getting a little frustrated, and I would say every 3 to 5 minutes on average, there would be a PKer at the last hour of it. So, all that being said, all that rambling aside, 1 hour and 54 minutes later, we killed 198 Revenant Orcs, and we made about 5.5 million. So that's not bad. I just wish we could have had the same second hour as we did first hour. Finally, moving on to the last revs I'm going to be killing for this video, we have the Hellhound and the Pyre Fiend. Ice Fiend, I mean. Yeah, there's actually another rev in the cave that I didn't touch, and that would be the Revenant Dark Beast. And if you guys enjoy this video, I have no problem killing 1,000 Dark Beasts and seeing the updated drops. That's not a problem at all. I just decided not to go for the Dark Beast in this video. I kind of wanted to focus on a little bit more lower level revs, so that's why I decided to save the last 2 hours for the Hounds and the Ice Fiends. And overall, I was not too impressed with the hourly rates I was getting, but I was noticing a trend, and that was I was using the 2,200 total level world, and there was 0 PKers the whole time pretty much. So that was really relaxing. For the first ever time, I could sit here for an hour, stack up my looting bag, and never have to worry. In my first hour, I did make 2 mil, and I know I kind of sound greedy by saying that that's not a lot of money, but when you make 4 mil an hour at the Revenant Dragon or the Revenant Orc, it's really hard to just kind of accept 2 mil. But needless to say, I hadn't even gotten any dragon items or seed items yet. So, you know, you really do have to have a little bit of luck here to get those higher tier drops. And never forget that you can still get that Vigorous Chain Mace as well as the crossbow, and both of those items are rising. They're very, you know, really, especially because of this update, much more useful than they ever have been before, and I really want to get one. I've yet to get a crossbow in all the 50 or 60,000 revs I've killed, but I have gotten a Vigorous Chain Mace. Sold that on the day of the release for 220 mil. Good times. But speaking of better times, ladies and gentlemen, loot from 10 hours of Scold Revs has been completed, and what a better way to end the video the same exact way that we started, getting teleblocked by a PKer. Only this time I was quick enough to teleport. So either way, 10 hours has been completed, about a 650k looting bag from the final inventory, no rares other than the Ancient Totem. So first things first, let's check out the Pyre Fiends. I think I said Ice Fiends earlier, I stand corrected, and the Hellhounds. Overall loot from those two creatures combined in 2 hours was about 5 mil. 2 mil in the first hour, 3 mil in the second. But again, there was no PKers except at the last second of the second hour. So, you know, 3 mil an hour is incredible, but that's with 0 PK attempts, 0 interruptions. So keep that in mind. And now it is time for the price check. Let's go ahead and do this. We have all the bracelets, teleports, blighted items, runes, and rune items. Tons of rune items. The first price check coming out to be 13 21.7 million GP. That is awesome to see. Obviously, you don't have to pick up all of the blighted items. There are some that are worth virtually nothing, but you know I like to pick up everything, so let's go on to the second price check. This being the bolt tips, the resources, the dragon items and seeds, as well as some other things, coming out to be 11 million GP. 24.7 million drops accounted for, 27 mil on the Runelight drop. Sure that I missed a couple items there. So overall, we have 25 mil in profit. That is deducting all the supplies that I used. I guess on average 2.5 mil an hour. That's killing a variety amount of revenants and just kind of switching it up, not sticking to one specific one. And hopefully through this video, you know, you guys kind of learned the most profitable rev, the most dangerous rev, and the most least profitable rev to kill. That was the goal, trying to explore all the revenants in the cave and all the fun and excitement that comes with it. All right, well, that was a long video. Haven't done a long one like this in a long time, but I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. So with all that being said, thank you for your time today, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Mr. No Sleep out.